Hi boys and girls, I'm going to show you how to make a fleece blanket for your 5th grade service project. We're going to start, there's several steps, 8 steps. And the first step is to begin with a piece of fleece that's 1.5 yards long. That's child size, this size, okay? And if you're making a blanket for an adult, you'd use 2 yards, okay? But this is, all of your pieces will be pre-cut to 1.5 yards long, okay? And you'll take your piece of fleece, and there are 2 edges along the fleece that are not good. They need to be cut off. They're kind of yucky looking, like this here. So the first thing you'll do, let me show you. You can see these are kind of yucky edges. So you're going to take scissors and cut off this yucky edge here, like I'm doing right now. Just go along, cutting it so that it's got a beautiful, like this. And you'd go along this way on this side. And then on the other side, this is a different kind of yucky edge. And on this side, this is easy because it's white, so you just cut off all the white part. So you have a beautiful edge like this. For those of you with printed fleece, this is easier to do. It's a little harder to do with plain fleece. But see, now you'll have nice edges ready to go when you're done. So the first step is to get rid of the yucky edges, the selvages. Okay, that's for this side. Now we'll continue. After you've done that, you'll cut off a 4-inch square out of each edge. So out of each corner. So what you'll do is, for the first one, you'll take a 4-inch, and you can use a pen on this first one. Just make sure you don't leave any pen marks on the fleece. And then you make a 4-inch square on each edge. So this is 4 inches by 4 inches. Then I'm going to cut it. This is a 4-inch square. Let's make sure this is exactly 4 inches. Making sure I don't leave any pen markings. I cut out a 4-inch square on one corner like this. Now I'm going to do it on the other corner. And now, since I already have a pattern, I have a 4-inch square from this pattern, and fleece sticks on fleece. Now it's easy. I just put the 4-inch square on top of it, and I've got a pattern. See, that's easy. And then I cut around the pattern, 4 inches on this end. So you'll do this on each corner of and this is garbage then. Each corner of the fleece blanket, you'll have a 4-inch square cut out, okay? Here's an example of one that's been done. It's a green one that I was working on. I'm making this for my mother, okay? And this is what it looks like with the squares, 4-inch squares taken out. Now the next step you'll do is you're going to put masking tape along each edge of the fleece. This is to help you make really good, accurate strips like this. So what I did was, I'll show you. You take masking tape and your ruler again, and you start by making 4-inch, put the masking tape 4 inches along the edge, like this. This is to guide you. It just, you wouldn't have to do this, but I found it's just really, really easy to guide you. And then it makes cutting those strips very easy and very accurate, which is important. Just 4 inches along the edge, like that, like this. And then exactly 4 inches. Now it's exactly 4 inches from the edge, okay? Now, I'll show you how I did the 1-inch markings. Take your ruler again, this is good measuring practice, and you're going to measure 1-inch strips. 1, 2, 3, like that. Make sure you don't use pin on your on the fleece, because you don't want to leave any pin markings. These blankets are going to be washed in really hot water before they're given to the children in the hospital, so you don't have to worry about germs at all, but still, pins sometimes just won't come out even in hot water, so try not to put pin markings on your fleece. That's another reason why I like to use the
Tape.
the masking tape. Okay, so I won't do this all because you know exactly what to do. This is what it looks like when you're done. This is what it look like, and you do this on all 4 sides. Now then it's all ready to cut like this. See? Ready to go. Now this is kind of the fun part. The next step is to cut it carefully. So again, it helps to have a nice big table. This table here is perfect. And you take good sharp scissors, and you'll have those, and you just cut 1-inch strips just like this. Use the pin markings to guide you, and cut just up to the masking tape. No farther, just exactly. And this will make a beautiful tying edge if you make each of these strips exactly the same and cut exactly the same way, like this. Let me cut a few more. So you'll do this all the way around on all 4 sides. Okay, like that. Okay, all right, so now that we have the strips cut in a small area, I'll show you how to tie them together in a decorative knot. This is probably the hardest part, and the part that is the hardest to get right. So you'll have beautiful strips cut exactly the same, and it helps if you tie them the same way on each side. So don't have one person tie one side, and make sure that one person ties them the same way. It really doesn't matter how you tie them as long as they're done the same way. So I'm going to have it facing me like this, and I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to choose to tie it this way. Oh, wait. Again, I can't decide how I want to do it. I'll tie it this way. Just tie it in one, and then I'm going to tie it again in another knot. Nope, that's not good. Here, let's try it again. It has to be even. Look. Perfect. See? Now perfect. Now I'm going to tie it again. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to do the other one. And make sure it comes right up to the cutting edge. See, just like nice and even. And there. See? I'm going to do another one. Slowly make sure they're even. Up in the thing like this. Right up to the edge. See? There's no gap. And then the next one. There, yeah. Not too tight, not too tight. So you'll end up the decorative edge that looks like this. See? Here's an example of one that's done, the whole edge that's done. So you can see they're kind of loose and just a decorative edge, okay? Not too tight, not too loose. You don't want to have any gaps, but you also don't want it tied too tight. I think this is a good example, okay? So it takes time, but if you're careful, this is the part that's the hardest to get right. So, and then at the end, after they're all tied, your blanket's finished. So have fun with your project. Thanks.